Alright, welcome back. So, today, I actually have found a 4.5 horse MTD yard machines. This is going to be a 2-stroke, older model. I'm not quite sure what year. It is an older model. Let me get you guys off the tripod. And it is an electric start model. It looks like it was tossed to the curb just by preliminary looking at it. It looks like the pedals are somewhat worn. Yeah, right on the edges they're a little bit worn, and this side doesn't even look like it matches, as you can see by preliminary looking at it. But yeah, the center pedals, you can see it's basically no resistance, it just will spin. So it looks like it definitely needs paddles. That's one thing. And also looking at it, looks like it was tossed because when I was just trying to pull it, this cable has no tension whatsoever. It has very little tension. Like you could see that it's really stretched. So I'm wondering if possibly this needs a new cable, obviously, and it needs paddles. But what I wanted to do in this video is basically just test everything, see what works, what doesn't work, and just get a brief overview of how everything is condition-wise. There is a little bit of fuel in there from what I saw. You can see it has been run before. So, you know, just by, I could tell by the stains and whatnot. It is a Tecumseh. Has the number there. The engine manufacturer number. I don't see a year. There has to be a way of knowing just by looking at it when you look at actually the code on it. Maybe if I look it up later, possibly. Everything looks to be intact here. I don't know, you can see it's been sitting a while. There's cobwebs everywhere in here, as you can see as the camera autofocuses. So it has been sitting. I mean, this winter we probably would have used this maybe a couple of times. The person might have used it. But other than that, it probably sat. But the nice thing was on these older ones, you know, they obviously had starting instructions. So if you knew how to start it, pretty much it listed it all. So for somebody who was a beginner, didn't know how to use it, basically told you what to do. And also it also had a do not use electric start in the rain. So yeah, so there's a serial number, and it looks like it's a 95, I'm gonna assume, because it met 95 safety standards from 1995. So it is a little bit of an older model, but these Tecumsehs, I've noticed, as long as they were somewhat put in the shade, and it looks like it has been. Now it looks like whoever had this before also, they spray painted it. So it must have had a little bit of rust, and they thought maybe it was a good idea to spray paint it. On the sides, you can see a little bit of it bubbling up. I mean, they did a fairly decent job for a quick spray. You know, you got overspray here. So, can't fault them for that. But yeah, what I'll do here is I just had a little bit of scotch tape on this, on the actual top of the cap, because I had it sitting out on deck. But this actual cap looks like to be the correct one, because it actually has the little breather tube right here in the center, the breather hole. You can see it right there, and that wasn't me doing that. It was basically done factory. The gasket's a little bit worn on the inside of this cap, but it looks like there is no fuel in here, but that's not a big deal. I have some 2-stroke we can put into it just to see if it'll fire up and run for a little bit. And I could also check electric start works, you know, go into the order, and then just do a quick check on it and figure out what's wrong with it. So hopefully it's not too long of a video. It shouldn't be. I mean, once we can see if it works, I can just take off the cover and we can look at to see what's going on with the belt, or the pulley, I'm sorry, or the, not the pulley, it could be a pulley issue too, but the actual cable tension on it, why is it so loose? So what I'll do next is I'll get you guys on the tripod, and I will get some 2-stroke. Let me get you on the tripod here. I'll just put it over here. I'll just move it over a little bit. I'm in the edge of my garage, so not really worried about too much smoke. I could direct it outwards. So I'll get some premix. Still have a little bit. I didn't use all of it, so fill it up with some premix. Pretty fresh, I would say probably within the last month. I also don't want to put too much in this because this thing's probably not going to run too long. It is summertime here, so obviously nobody's running snowblowers except probably for me. Just checking them out. Alright, that should be enough fuel in there. Close the cap. So what I'll do first is I wanted to see, maybe if I aim it outwards of the garage. Okay. First I want to see if it actually, if the remote start, or, oh, I'm sorry, electric start will work. And what I'll do, tip it a little forward. Let me grab the cable out a little bit further. It's a little short. Just a hair more here. Alright, that should be good enough. And also, I just noticed it doesn't have the 3 screws that hold the top cover to it. Somebody might have been putzing around with it, or maybe messing with it, but that's okay. It's just the cover. I don't think it's going to rattle loose. I guess we'll find out. So we'll put that in. What I'll do is, the choke is off in the left hand position, go to the right position. We'll give it a bunch of primes because in case there's no fuel in it. I see the spark plug just by looking at it in the light. You could see somebody taped it, so there might have been a spark issue at one point. Alright, we'll do that. Turn the key to on, and we'll see if electric start works. Oh wow, that's a surprise. Electric start's gonna work, so this might actually fire up. Let's give it a few more primes. These Tecumsehs, it's an older model. I think it'll probably start up if I just go ahead and do that. So let's fire it up. You know what? Maybe I take it off choke. Go mid choke. Take it off choke. You know what we'll do? We'll give it a help. Maybe it needs a help. Been sitting for a while. What I'll do is the access to the actual port on top is I'll give it a little carb spray. As much as I possibly can. Hopefully some of that got in there. If not, I'll get my tube out. Fire it up. It should fire up now, or at least cough and run. Alright, well that's a positive sign. It does run. Do I think it has a carb issue? I don't think it does. I just feel like the fuel's not reaching there. It could be a carb issue though. Let's go half check. want to do too is just check the pull start, and just to see if it pulls over with the pull start. Now that it's warmed up, it should fire right up. I kind of had a feeling this would run. These typically, when I find them, they're always hard to start in the beginning. You prime them, and sometimes they don't catch. And then once they catch with fuel inside of them, they actually will start running pretty well, pretty decently. So what we'll do here next in this video, because I'm going to make this one video right now, because I don't have obviously paddles or the actual assembly for this, for the actual paddles to pull the cable, is I'll go ahead and I'll pull the cover off. We'll see if we notice anything directly with it, if there is an issue. But yeah, actually I'm very surprised that the electric start works. I had a feeling the pull start would work, 'cause usually pull starts work. It's usually when people toss these, I've found a numerous bunch of these. You can see my old past videos on these, where there's different types, like a white, there was a white one. I could see the spark plug was basically, something was rubbing here. These usually come with a black cap to cover the plug. That's obviously missing. Yeah, like I said, the top 3 bolts are missing. I could see the side bolt right here. There should be another bolt right here just holding this top cover here is missing. Yeah, that's all I can see right now. I'm gonna see if I can get a small impact. It looks like they're just, I'll drop the tripod here. You guys can see. And yeah, hopefully you guys don't mind the content. I know lately YouTube's been pushing for like longer videos. I don't know why, but I'll try something new once, you know, if it works. Maybe I'll try it again in the future. It's been pretty slow though, I can tell you honestly. Things I've been finding, it's kind of been like hit or miss in terms of what I've been seeing. So I mean, the videos are coming out as I find stuff, so sometimes it does take me in between things of doing a video and checking it out, and or ordering parts for it at times, that when I record these. So this video I'll probably end up putting out on Father's Day. I'll make it a Father's Day special for anyone who's interested in it. So yeah, what I'll do is let me just drop the arms here. Sorry it takes me a second here. My tripod, I have 3 types of adjustments for it, so it's like trying to find the right adjustment at the right side. It takes me like about a minute to do. So let me go ahead and just get looks like it's just a couple bolts. I think it's just gonna be, I'll use my impact driver. Should be able to take those off. Impact driver, I have it right on my shelf, and then Phillips. You can also use a Phillips. You don't necessarily need a driver. I just use a driver because it's a little quicker. Try and be careful not to strip it too, because obviously this impact was a flat at one point. And also being careful because the bolts are hot. There we go. The bolts are hot. The engine was running for a few minutes there, so it is kind of warm, and it's also about 75, 80. That one's not even tight, so that's interesting. Wonder what that one's holding. This one should just pop right off. Oh, that one's, looks like it did at one point hold it and it popped off. So it broke in there. I'll note that down maybe. And then I don't know if there should be maybe one more cover bolt. No, I don't see anything. Let's see if I can get something to pry with. I do have a pry bar. I'll just lightly pry it on the sides here. And maybe I should try to get this bolt off. me see if I can grab that bolt and pull it with a pair of pliers. I don't think I'm missing any bolts, but I will double check once I loosen everything. Oh, that one's in there. This one's hanging on. It's coming. There it goes. Looks like it was bouncing around because it was stripped in the section there. But now we should have access to the actual cover. And of course, you could always remove the top cover, the plastic cover. I just wanted to see if I could just remove it since it's missing some bolts anyways from the bottom here. And I did miss one bolt. I thought I did. So when I've taken these off, there is one more sneaky bolt right here, right near the wheel. Let's see if I can just tilt it upwards a little bit. Right by the wheel. This is the one I'm missing. Sorry, I'll show you guys right here. It's right there. I'll point at it right there. All right. Okay, we got the last bolt out there. So now we should have access to the side cover. Or now it should pop right off easily. Let me move you guys back a little bit. You can see it. There we go. And there's your problem. It looks like the belt sheared. So you can see the belt totally sheared off. It broke. So that's a problem. That's why we also. But also the cable itself, why is it so stretched? It's right here. The cable is also stretched. You can see there's like barely any movement. It should be pulling back up. As you can see as I pull the handlebar. So the cable's stretched and the belt is broken. The return spring seems fine. Should be returning there, but yeah, the belt basically goes around and then it'll turn the paddles. So that makes sense why it was tossed. It looks like this guy probably didn't want to get a new belt here, new belt piece for the assembly, and he didn't want to pay for a belt. Didn't think it was worth it, maybe. That's interesting though. Usually I never see them torn with belts though. This will be a first for me, but you can definitely see the carnage here of what happens. I mean, over time, I mean, these belts are not indestructible. They eventually do wear out. Especially on this. This is probably the original belt that came with it back in 1995, so. Engine still runs. Engine sounds good. Just more or less needs a belt. Belt, and I would say a cable. Yeah, because I don't think I have this cable even when I tore off some of the older machines I had. So, it'll definitely be something I'll look into. I'll see cost comparison. I may try to fix it up. I mean, just depends. I mean, these things don't go for much. I might even just keep this one for parts. I mean, it has a good electric start. I could always, part it out if I really need to. Everything else seems to be there. I mean, the engine's there, runs. So you do have some good parts off this if I decide not to fix it up. But I don't know. We'll see what I'll do with it. I mean, there's a lot of other things I could possibly do with it. I have no idea yet. I haven't decided, so I'll keep you in the loop. I mean, if I get the new parts or if I decide to go the parts route, maybe I will replace it or maybe fix it. I'll see. But, yeah. For now, I'll just leave it probably as is. It was good to do a little video just to test it out and see why it was tossed to the curb and seeing what the issues are with it. So, it does have a few issues, but nothing that nobody could fix. You know, it's nothing catastrophic, which is interesting. So, yeah. Hope you guys like this video today, and I just want to wish all the fathers out there happy Father's Day for Father's Day weekend. I know some people watch my stuff on the weekend, some people don't, but if you catch it during the week possibly, I still want to wish all the fathers out there and all the different types of fathers, stepfathers out there great, and hopefully you guys had a great weekend. And yeah, hope you enjoy it, and thanks for checking out this one, and we'll see what happens on the next one. Hopefully the next one's a little bit easier, or at least most of the parts are there. So thanks for watching, and hope you guys have a great day and a great weekend, and like, comment, subscribe. Any questions, go ahead and ask. I'll try to answer them as soon as I can. Thank you very much, and have a great day. Take it easy. Just to add to the video that just ended, I actually looked into my parts that I had off of different snowblowers, and I was trying to match as close as I possibly could to the one that I actually had that basically maybe could have matched this belt. So I looked in there, and I have a couple of these thinner ones, but these thinner ones I just don't think they're too big for it. This one may work, but I think it'll just stretch too quick, but it's also frayed too. So I actually found another belt, and the funny thing is I just put it on. It's a little bit thicker of a belt, and obviously it's a little slag because I don't have it in the case, the cover, but it actually fit around this. And actually starting it actually, since the actual cable is stuck, it actually just stays on. So the funny part is it'll run, and actually the paddles will work. It's just the actual cable just obviously doesn't really serve a purpose right now. So what I'll do here is let me just put you guys in the tripod. You guys can see how it works. I was very surprised I actually had this in my park spin. So I'll start it up for you and just show you really quick, and then I'll done with this video. So that's a good thing, is I don't have to get a belt if this one will work. I mean, it might be a hair bigger, maybe, possibly, or it could possibly be something else, but let me just go ahead and I'll just put you guys here on the side so then I can show you guys really quick. So you can see that the belt seems to pull the front paddles fine. It's just more or less, I don't know if this is going to be the correct tension on this belt for this actual machine. But the positive thing is that it'll run and operate. It's just, I don't know if the paddles will not possibly disengage if you actually have a snow load on it. But the good thing is that the belt actually seems to fit, and it actually seems to actually pull the paddles. So yeah, I mean, if I could save something just by not having to get a part for it, maybe I'll try this belt out. We'll see what happens. Even if the cable is stretched, I mean, it's still worth something. I mean, the engine's fine, the electric starts fine. It's just more or less, you know, your cable control, it doesn't really necessarily pull it up on this lever right here like it should to release a little bit of the tension. So yeah, I don't know what I'll do with it, but for now it's kind of like a quick fix. But yeah, thought that was kind of interesting that I actually had somewhat of a belt to use. I mean, obviously this is probably not the correct one, but just for a quick kind of repair, I think it'll work for now. So yeah, hope you guys like the video, and I will end it there, and I will catch you guys out on the next one. Take it easy.